Hi guys, so this was my module to practice making the erosion bottles. So our question was, how does soil and land cover impact infiltration and runoff? So for the imagine part, I was thinking of what is the difference between natural and unnatural ground covering and how does that change the runoff? So that's kind of what I was thinking, that maybe there's something in what we use around our house and what the earth naturally makes that helps preserve different runoffs. So my plan was to cut 3 water bottles. I was going to fill each one with a different soil composition that I find in my yard. So there's one where a tree was just unrooted, so the soil's pretty fresh. It's just kind of plain soil. I also have one where there's a bunch of mulch in that area as well. And then finally, I said soil. I found a spot where there's soil with roots and leaves and pine needles because it's right underneath a tree. I decided that I was going to pour water into each of them and then just hold a cup below to collect the runoff. So very similar to the plan we were given on D2L, but again, put my own little changes on it. So I created all 3 bottles and I filled them with the predefined filling. I poured water into each and caught the runoff in a clear cup. So you can see I had my mulch, I had a mixed soil one, and then I had just plain soil. So the mixed soil is the one that has the leaves and the pine needles and some roots in it. My evaluation, so overall the bottle with the mixed soil produced the cleanest runoff water, which makes sense because that's how the earth naturally cleans water. It has all these different things inside of its soil. The mulch was the second cleanest. That made me think that even our artificial way of keeping the land where it's supposed to be and keeping things the way it's supposed to be semi-works, not as well as the natural way, but it helps. And the plain soil was the least. You can see it's very muggy, very dirty. Most of the soil kind of ran off with it. So this makes me think that to help with clean runoff water and to keep things the way they are, we should incorporate mulch or mixed soil to plain soil. So to improve this, I might incorporate more varieties of soil samples. I really just use the soil that's around my house right now. Maybe I could expand it and check out some soil maybe actually in a forest or maybe more sandy soil and see how that changes. And maybe also have one where there's a plant or like the example have grass growing inside of it where there's actual roots to see how that affects it. So my NGSS standard was ACTE655.50A, analyze geoscience data to make the claim that one change to Earth's surface can create feedbacks that cause changes to other Earth systems. So this one worked out, went along with it since we're talking about how the difference in soils can change how the runoff looks. So that's kind of how it creates feedback and changes other Earth systems. For the STEM practices for science, we developed and used models, we planned and carried out investigation, we analyzed and interpreted our data, and we constructed explanations. We also had to obtain, evaluate, and communicate the information, which is what I'm doing right now. Engineering was very much the same, developed and used models, planned and carried out investigations, and then again that obtain, evaluate, and communicate information. For technology, I said learn how to use new technologies as they become available. I'm using my iPad to present this project, which is something new for me to do. And even just coming up with the erosion bottles was something new for me to do. So I took that as a new technology of a way to see the soil erosion. For mathematics, I said make sense of the problems and persevere in solving them. So really taking the problem that was at hand and looking at it and seeing how can we fix this, how can we solve the problem, and then use appropriate tools strategically. So using the water bottle, using how I picked up the soil, I took that as the tools that we were using. So I hope you guys enjoy watching my video, and I can't wait to watch yours.